Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly Jones Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute pendant. Put a list of everything you'll need in the description below. So let's get started. To make this pendant you'll need 0.8mm wire, which is 20 gauge. I've cut one length at 9 inches, which is 23 centimetres. I've got 0.315mm weaving wire, which is 28 gauge. What else have I got? So I've got a little arrowhead today. So mine is 15mm across the top and it's 25mm long, so it's only a small one. For this design you're going to need these two little cutouts at the top because that's what I'll be attaching to. So as long as your arrowhead has got these two little cutouts, you should be fine. With this design I've got a little 3mm bead. What else have I got? Tools, pliers, round nose pliers, cutters, and today I'm going to be using bail pliers. If you don't have bail pliers you can bend the wire over with your fingers, but it's quite like a little small bend. I suppose you could use the base of your round nose, see how you get on. If you don't have these, don't worry, you can use something else. So find the centre of your wire and we're going to bend it into a little V, and we want to bend it completely flat. So holding it, squeeze the end so it's completely flat. And then what we want to do is we want to bend these wires out quite close to that bend. So we've got that little bend at the bottom and the wires both go out to the sides. So you've got that little shape in your wire. And that's going to go on the front. So find the front of your stone. And looking at these 2 points on the side, that little shape there needs to be quite high up so that those wires can go straight across and around through those cutouts. Do you know what I mean? So you don't want it down here and with them going, it's got to be right up high so that the wire can go straight around the cutouts, and it's got to be like straight so it's nice and tight, because it's really got to pinch and hold that stone in place. Keeps moving. Oh dear, come on. So this is a little bit fiddly to hold already, we haven't even started. So hold that as centrally as you can and take the wire around the stone on both sides, nice and tight. And really press it against the stone so you're really gripping on that stone the best you can. Take the wires across the back. And then they're going to come back through the cutouts on the sides. Bring them straight across the front. And again, you're keeping it nice and tight, squeezing it in place. Now, if this is a little bit wobbly, it's a little bit loose, we're all right, because we're going to attach to these wires in a bit when the bail comes back down over the top. So we'll need a little gap to get in and attach those wires. So if you have got a little bit of play, that should hopefully tighten up in a bit. So holding your wires. Seems really dark in here. I need to adjust my light. So holding the wires the best you can, we're going to bring them up centrally. And we want them to meet. So you've got to bend them up kind of together. Really pull that wire flat across the front, because we want it to grip against the stone there. So just take your time getting that shape right, because if it doesn't hold, it's just going to come off. So we're left with this shape on the front now. So what we're going to do, we're just going to tie all this together at the front. Take your weaving wire and we'll attach with 3 wraps around this top wire here. Slide it down. Right the way down to there. You're trying to keep that little point there as central as you can. We're going to take this weaving wire around the 2 wires. So we're adding a bit of strength and it will look nice for having this too. So we go around the 2 wires, go round again, we'll wrap around just this top wire a couple of times. So I've gone around my top wire 5 times. And I'm going to add a bead to my wire. And then I'm going to wrap around this wire. Now, if I just wrap around here, all my wraps are going to be above, up here. And I don't want that, I want them to be below. So I'm going to take the wire through this side. So I'm still going around the same, I'm still going around this wire, but I'm going around the bottom part of it so that my wraps end up lower down. I'll show you. So my wraps are down here. So I'm going to go around 5 times, mirror what I did on the other side. So I'm going to go around 5 times, then I'm going to go 3 times around both wires. Did I go 3 times? So quite close to the edge, and then I'll wrap a couple of times just around that top wire. So going around that top wire there is an absolute nightmare, so just go around once. My wire broke and it's just broke again. So just do the best you can, just attach it somewhere. I'm going to cut this wire here. And then I want a little join here at the bottom. I'm going to take my bit of wire that broke off and I'm going to wrap a few times around one of those wires. And then I'm going to wrap a few times around the 2 wires. And 2 times, twice around one of the wires. So I've attached that top bit. And then these 2 wires here, I'm going to use bail pliers. And I'm just going to bend them over that small size. You can use your fingers, you can bend them over a knitting needle, whatever you have handy at the time. So I'll bend that forward. And then about here. And bring those wires together, so I'm going to cross them over at the back. Let's have a look, I want them the same size. So I've bent them out because I'm going to attach them there. I need to make sure they're the same size. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bend them back and push them together there. So I'm kind of pinching, trying to wiggle in the wires to pinch that bail there. So I've got a little scoop. So you want your wires to come over and then come back and meet, and we're going to tie them together there, and then they're going to come over the back and join. So we can take this weaving wire around the whole thing. They have to meet, and you want to keep it nice and upright. The temptation is to bend it forward. You don't want it to go forward. So we're going to go around everything a few times and then wrap a few times around a back wire. Bend your wires right up at the back. You can then bring your bail nice and centrally over the top there. So now, holding this little V down at the front, bend the wires down over the back of the stone. You don't want your little V to stick out as you do this, because it wants to move. Right down over the back of the stone there. I'm going to cut these wires and bend them around that back wire there. So I'm just going to make just a little gap. There's already a little gap in there on the one side. Little gap in there. And then with rhinos, I'm going to take that wire around those two back wires through that gap, and that should hopefully pull it all tight, because there's a little bit of wiggle. Just a little bit. So pull them around loosely and then have a look at the position of your bail. Make sure that little V is against the stone. Have a look over it and make sure you're happy. I've pulled on that wire, making that side smaller, so I need to pull on this one to level it up. And then tighten your wires. So press your wires around that back wire with your pliers. If you keep pulling them around, then you'll keep pulling your loop smaller. So press them around with pliers till they're in place. And that should be nice and secure now, nice and solid. I think that's it. I need to run and oxidise mine, and I'll show you what it looks like. So there we have it, finished. I've oxidised mine. If you'd like help oxidising yours, I did a video on oxidising and aftercare. I'll put links in the description below. Hope you managed to follow this one okay, and I will see you all in the next one. Oh, and don't forget, If you share your finished work online, please don't share images of the back or in progress, as it gives away all my little design secrets. See you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye.